in a chair that has no arms. And what we should have with us is some kind of blanket or throw blanket or a towel, a block or a roll of paper towels, a strap or a belt, sash, something to wrap around our leg, and a pillow. So it could be a throw pillow from the sofa, or it could be a pillow from the bed, but just to have a pillow to relax with at the end of class. So I think I'll begin today. I love to bring something into class and talk about it. And I am back in yoga teacher training. I am in a more extensive training now when we're talking about anatomy and the spine and our all of our systems, our nervous system and muscular system and bones. And it occurred to me that when we talk about the spine, when we're just talking, we say backbone, and we talk about people having backbone. And I found this little passage, and it's just a paragraph, so I'd love to read it, about the back of our body and the spine, because we're going to start when we warm up in the chair. We start with moving the spine around. So this was just interesting. The back of your body is behind you. This is obvious, but think of what this means in terms of your experience. You are moving from one place to another. You leave past events and experiences behind to move into the future and shape new ones. And if you remember, when we're in Warrior 2, we talk about the front arm is in the future and the back arm is in the past. And when we're moving and we're walking, we move towards the future. So the back of your body holds your spine, and we talk about having backbone, meaning that if we have determination and firmness in our makeup, when you move from the back of your body, you're moving from this place of firmness and fullness. You use the wisdom gained from past experiences to inform your future. And I thought that was just interesting in that when we think the spine is in the back of our body, but we talk about having a firm spine. And in yoga, we really lengthen the spine and firm the back muscles around the spine. And that's so that we can move into the future with fullness and firmness. Anyway, my little piece of wisdom for the day. So let's start. Let's first set ourselves up in the chair. So I think everyone in class has done this before, but you're sitting in the chair. You want to not be leaning back against the chair. You want to have a fist worth of chair behind you in space so that when you lean back, you're actually using your muscles to lean back and you can't lean against the chair. You want to be firmly in the chair. And here's where we use our blanket or throw blanket or towel, which I have a yoga towel here. So just check your alignment. Look at where your knees are in relation to your hips. If the knees are, and every chair is different, every human body is different, the size of our bones are different. So it could be very different from you in the same chair as someone else in the class if they were sitting in the same chair. But for instance, my knees feel lower than my hips. So I'm taking this towel and placing it on the floor. I'm going to put my feet on top of the towel, which raises my feet so that my knees are the same height as my hips. Now, if you're in your chair, it could be that your hips are lower than your knees if you're in a low chair, in which case, put the blanket under your hips, and that raises the hips so that the knees and the hips are equal because you want to have a straight line. So we're going to always start with breathing, and breathing is so important. We do it every day without thinking about it. And I learned something new this week. When you breathe every day without thinking about it, did you know that you're only using 1/7 of your lung capacity as we walk around? So today we're just going to breathe by raising our arms and just bringing the breath deeply into the belly. If you have high blood pressure, we don't want to, again, just to go over some of the constraints involved in yoga, and this is all of yoga, and this is extra careful stuff. So it really depends on you, what your doctor says. But if you have high blood pressure, I guess it's not I guess, but the constraint in yoga is that you shouldn't raise your arms overhead. You should keep them shoulder height or lower. So if you have high blood pressure, do not join me in raising your arms. You can just hold your hands on your belly and feel the breath fill up your belly. The other constraint is osteoporosis or osteopenia, just about rounding your back and rounding your neck. And again, everything I'm reading in anatomy right now is telling me that in some cases you should be doing that to strengthen. So I'm going to leave that between you and your doctor, but we're going to breathe right now. So I want you to, at the count of, we're going to raise our arms really slowly, or hold your belly really, we're going to breathe really slowly, and we're going to take it at the count of about 4, in and out. And I want you to breathe deeply, fill the lungs. As you fill the lungs, you are exercising, you're surrounding all your inner organs with, and giving them a little bit of resistance so that they're getting a little bit of a workout here. So it's not a passive exercise breathing in this case. So deeply inhale through the nose, through the nostrils, raising the arms, hands touch, and slowly release through the nostrils, as I just did it through the mouth. Again, palms go up as we breathe in slowly until our hands touch, and then exhale through the nostrils slowly. You can try holding the belly if you'd rather just feel what it feels like to breathe the air in. As I do this, feel free to hold onto your belly and fill the belly with air. And last one. So we also talk in yoga about keeping your shoulders away from your ears, but for right now, I want you to push those shoulders up into the ears and give yourself a shoulder shrug and tense up the muscles up there, and then relax them and let them come down. As you inhale, do it again through the nostrils. Inhale and bring the shoulders up to the ears, and then relax. And this time, let's do shoulder circles. So we're going to inhale, bring the shoulders back up and around towards the front. Exhale as they come down. And we're going to do 4 shoulder circles in this direction. We warm up the body before we really start to move. So we start with shoulders. And then this is number 4. So now just go in the opposite direction. Again, inhaling as the shoulders come up and exhaling as they come down. We start with the shoulders, then the torso, the arms and hands, and then the legs. Oh, and the spine's in the middle there. Okay, now let's just do a little neck rolling, which we're keeping our shoulders away from the ears, relaxed and down. And we're going to take our ear to our shoulder. So take your right ear to your right shoulder, and then let your head come down so that your chin is towards your chest, and go to the other side. We just don't go back. We don't bring the head back. As you inhale, as you come forward, and then exhale as you go in the other direction. You might hear some cracking. You might hear your, just the bones touching. It's all good. It's important to just keep moving. And then take your hands, cross them either way, right over left, left over right, and give yourself a hug. Squeeze your shoulders. Take your hands apart and just do the other side. We're sitting in front of screens, we're scrolling our phones, we're reading books, we're using our hands all day. Take your arms and bring them straight out in front of you. Now, there are 2 ways of doing this with the arms. You can keep your arms out very relaxed in front of you, and just holding them up alone is enough of an exercise. Or you could put energy into the arms and tense the muscles so that you feel an energy line and it becomes an isometric exercise. But I want you, in either case, your choice, let your fingers go wide, make your palms come forward as if you're holding onto a wall. Stretch your fingers wide in a web. So again, I say this every week, but a lot of yoga positions, postures are, named for animals. And so we're going to call the hand movements by animals. So we got duck webs here. Then we're going to do claws. So especially if you have arthritis in your hands, this is a really great exercise. You're just going to make your hands into claws. Then beaks, like bird beaks. And this is really good for the thumb movement. And then paws. So you want to take fists. And again, keep that energy in the arms if that's what you If you want to give those arms a workout, make that an isometric exercise and see if you can push those fists as if there's a wall in front of you. And relax. Put your hands on your knees. We're just going to do a few torso circles. We're going to bend. And when we bend, we're bending from the hip flexor, not from the waist. So as you lean forward, you can actually feel, if you take your hands and put them right here, but where your thighs meet your hips, you can feel that pelvic bone. You're going to lean forward there and go over the front body as you inhale. Do a big circle. And as you lean back, your neck is straight in line with the spine. You exhale. So inhale over the front body and exhale over the back. And of course, in yoga, we have to go in the other direction. So just take it back. But we continue, just so we don't get confused. Exhale when you lean back and inhale when you come forward. Try to make it more than 1/7 of your lung capacity. And we're building a strong backbone here. Okay, so now we're going to work that backbone or the spine and do the 7 directions of the spine. So we're going to inhale, bring our arms up as we started. And this time, when you're doing this, the head is straight. We're not looking up, but I want you to see if you can make that backbone, the spine, a little taller. So see if you can create some space between the vertebrae and make yourself a 1/2 inch taller. Take a deep breath. Let it out. Take your left wrist in your right hand. And again, if this is an issue for you, your hands could be at your shoulder length. You can keep your arms in goddess. You can just let your arms here. Otherwise, I want you to lean to the right. So 7 directions of the spine. We went up. Now we're going to the right for a side bend. Again, see if you can keep your chest wide. Your heart is open. We aren't leaning down. If anything, make believe like there's a wall behind you. Come center, switch the arms, and see if you can go to the left. And again, focus on the chest being wide open as if there's a wall behind you as you lean to the left. It might be easier if you want to hold on to the base of the chair and just use one hand over. We don't want you to be unstable here. We're in chair yoga, so we're very conscious about the stability. Bring your both hands to the chair, hands to the legs. We're going to slide down. Again, we're focusing on not bending at the waist, but bending at the hip flexor as we lean forward in a forward bend. Now, some people, this is where you don't want to round the back. So some people, this might be all you can manage. Or if you have more flexibility in the spine, you can come down and actually rest on your thighs as you slide your hands down. Everybody's body is different. You don't have to copy mine. You might be safe just right here. Come back to center. And this time, hands on the side of the chair as you keep a very straight back and just lean back a little bit. We're not bending the neck. The neck is in line with the spine. It's a straight line. Come center. This time, take your right hand, bring it to the back of the chair behind you. Your left hand comes to heart center as we turn. Now, as you inhale, lift up. We know how that before we lifted the spine, we created a 1/2 inch in between the vertebrae. Again, lift up. And as you relax on the exhale, see if you can twist and look over the right shoulder. Again, as you inhale, get tall. And as you exhale, you relax. Come back center, switch arms. So the right hand now is in the center of the chest. The left hand is holding the chair behind you. You're twisting, but before you twist, you inhale, you get tall. And as you exhale, you look over your left shoulder for a twist. Inhale, get tall. Exhale, relax a little and see if you can take it a little deeper. Come to center. Hands are on your knees for a little cat-cow. So we're going to take the navel, the belly button, and see if you could bring it towards the spine. As you round the back a little bit, your chin comes down to chest for cat. Then we do the opposite. We lift our head up and we lean forward with the navel. Almost the navel is coming towards the front of the room. Our tailbone would be sticking out and we're in cow. So we're just kind of very gently doing that. And if there's any issue with osteoporosis, you're not going to be doing this. You just kind of hang out for a moment. So we've warmed up the spine, the arms, the hands, the shoulders. Now it's time for the legs. So just your legs are gently on a blanket or on the floor. Lift them up and point your toes. You're up on your toes. Now come to your heels, flex. Again, point and flex. Point and flex. If there's a strap or a belt or a scarf near you, now's the time to grab it. Take your right, have the strap, take your right leg, bring it up to the chest, flex your foot, take it out to the side, bring it back, and take the strap and wrap it around the ball of the foot. You're holding the strap with two hands as you let that foot come out straight. Now, there could be a micro bend in the knee is fine, bending the knee is fine, but you bring that leg straight out in front of you and you point and flex. And release it. Let go of the strap and let it come down. Do the same thing with the left. So we bring the left foot up to the chest, take it out to its side, bring it back, take the strap, wrap it around the ball of the foot. Strap is in two hands, and we point and flex. Again, there could be a micro bend in the knee. You don't have to have your leg completely straight. And release the strap, let the leg come down. Okay, we're ready to start the flow. We're going to start, it's still part of the warm up. We do a sun salutation A. Start with our hands at heart center. Take a deep breath in, deep breath out. And the next inhale, our hands come up. We exhale and we bring them down, put them on your knees, take the legs, let them slide out so that the legs are in front of the knee, the feet are in front of the knees, and slide down. We did this earlier. You're bending at the hip crease for a forward bend. Come up a little bit, so you're still bent, but you have a flat back. So you might want to take those shoulders and bring them back. You can see if you can try to reach the shoulder blades behind you can integrate and try to reach towards each other. Again, we're creating a strong back here. We're going to do a plank now. So you're going to come up onto the balls of the feet. So the feet slide back under, you're up on the balls of the feet, and the hands come out. We did this movement before as if we were a plank on the floor. And then we're coming into down dog. So we slide the legs out, the feet come flat, and our hands come up so that we would almost be in a V. So the hands are up the wall, or if you were on the floor, we'd be in a V position into a down dog. Bring the legs back in, hands come to knees, and we come and we slide down, the feet come forward a little bit, we slide back down, bending at the hip crease into forward bend. Inhale as you come back up halfway. Exhale, slide back down again. And as we inhale, bring our hands up, touch the sky, and come back to heart center. We'll do that one more time. So we start here. And as you inhale, hands come up and touch the sun, because it's a sun salutation. Exhale, hands come down, feet slide a little forward as we slide down, and we bend at the hip crease. Inhale, come back up to the knees. You're still leaning a little forward. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, come up. Bring your legs out under your knees and come up on the balls of your feet. Your hands are out straight in front of you. Fingers are webbed for plank. Exhale, bring the feet out, soles of the feet flat on the floor, hands slide up for down dog. And again, we talked about energy lines. You can be very relaxed in this, or you can put some energy into your arms and it becomes an isometric exercise. Feet come back under, we're sliding down for a forward bend. Inhale, come up halfway. Exhale, slide back down. Inhale, raise the arms, touch the sky, add hands to heart center. We'll do one sun salutation B. Sun salutation B starts in chair position. We are already in chair position. So For those of you who need the stability and want to stay in the chair, I try not to take you out of the chair so much just at the end for balancing. But I will say that in chair, basically you're leaning forward at the hip crease just a little bit. Your feet are pressing into the floor and your hips are pressing into the chair. So that's chair in the chair. If you'd like to try to come out of the chair, I want you to hold on with one hand for stability. Feet press into the floor. Bring your hips down as if you're in a chair, other arm up in the sky, and let's try that. And you can actually feel the quads engaging at this point. So hold that. And if you're in the chair, lean a little forward, where in yoga, we're constantly rooting and rising. So in chair position, it's one of the main, you can really feel it here. You're pressing the feet into the floor if you're in the chair or you're standing. And I'll come back to the chair to show those people. You're pressing your hips into the chair as your torso is rising. Two opposite movements. And then if you're standing, you can come back to the chair. We're coming into forward bend again, so the feet slide a little bit out. You're coming down and bending, forward bend. Come halfway up. Come back down. And this time we're coming up and we're coming into plank. So come back up onto the balls of the feet. Your hands are webbed out in front of you. Slide the feet out just a little bit. Plant the soles of the feet as the hands come up the wall. And this time in Sun Salutation B, we take the right leg and bring it into the chest. So every single movement we're doing, we've done in the warm-up. We're just stringing them together. Press that knee into the chest. Remember to keep your spine tall. So when you inhale, see if you can grab an extra ½ inch in between the vertebrae. Keep that backbone strong and press the leg into the chest. Let it come back down. Let's do the other side. Left foot comes into the chest. See if you can flex that foot while you do it. Get tall and strong. Release the foot. Slide back down into forward bend. Halfway up. Back down again. And we're coming back into chair from here. So the arms come overhead and we rise. Now, if you want to stand again for chair to get that strength in the thighs while we sit, your feet are planted in the floor. Spread the toes wide, press the feet into the floor. Press the hips down as if you're sitting in a chair. You can hold on if you need the stability, and your torso rises. Arms are overhead. Arms could be in goddess. Arms could be behind you, clasped down, but you're rooting and rising. Now you want to look down if you're standing, that your knees are not over your toes, but you can see your toes as you look down. And if you're sitting, it's the same thing. Okay, come back to the chair. So let's do the flow. So at this point, we're going to go to the side of the chair. So you have no arms on the chair. Let's go to the right side first. I want you to plant your hips to the side so that, and you remove the blanket if you have a blanket. Let's get it out of the way. So your right leg is going to be bent in a 90-degree angle. Your left leg could be in a few different positions. You can use the block here. It depends on your anatomy and the length of your leg. This might be really comfortable for you to put your leg, the ball of your foot up here. And that might be just where you want to take it. And you want to keep the block handy if not. Or you can take that foot back and just bend the knee like this, which is also fine. Or if you can straighten that leg, and we let that hip drop off the chair, if you can straighten that hip out so that it's behind you, that's great too. And that's where I'll be. So we're in Warrior One, which I want you to hold the right hand on the back of the chair for stability. Actually, let's take the left hand and place it at heart center. So it's half prayer hands. And this will be our Warrior One. The back foot could be at a 90-degree angle or at a 45-degree angle, what works for you. If you're feeling any extra pain, so I would normally say, if you feel any pain, back off. I'm going to say that there are some people, I've been corrected, that feel a level of pain at all times. So if your pain level in creases, in anything we're doing, it's okay to take it to that edge, but then back off, because there should be no pain in yoga. It's one thing to challenge your body, it's another to feel pain. So back off if you're feeling pain. So this is warrior one. Now you're going to take that back foot and you're going to turn it. Can you see I'm turning my foot towards the front of the room so that it's straight at a 90-degree angle. And we're going to take the left hand and circle it back, or if that's not possible for your shoulder, just bring it back behind you. And the right arm comes out in front of you. So now your chest is wide, your gaze is over your front hands or front fingers. Your arms are both at shoulder height. Your front arm is heading towards the future. Your back arm is in the past, back there with your spine and your backbone that we talked about. And you're in warrior two. Put some energy into the arms. Here's where you can be relaxed with your arms and just hang out and have a very relaxing pose. Right now, I feel an energy line. I am doing an isometric exercise from the tips of my front fingers, straight line across to my back fingers. My chest is wide, heart open. Your chest should be wide, heart open. And I'm also feeling an energy line from the pinky toe side of the foot that I'm pushing into the floor. So I'm focused on pushing that into the floor, up the leg. And I'm feeling it in this leg as it comes down. So if you want some energy lines and you want to take it a little further, that's the beautiful thing about yoga. It could either be very easy and you just kind of hang here, or you put some energy into it and you make it even more challenging. We're in warrior two. Take that left hand, slide it down the straight leg. Take the right hand, your chest should be wide as it comes over your ear, or if that's an issue for your shoulder, it could just be on your hip. As you lean down and look, your gaze is up at the ceiling, because your chest, if your gaze was at the floor or at the wall, your right shoulder is going to come down. Your gaze is up at the ceiling because your heart is open and your chest is open. This is peaceful warrior. And then we're going to take our forearm, our right forearm, place it on the front thigh. Again, now your chest is open in this direction for side angle pose. And again, if that shoulder has a hard time with coming over your arm, you can place your hand at your waist. Come back to peaceful warrior. And we circle between the two poses with the breath. So if we inhale here, exhale here. Let's do it one more time. Inhale and exhale. See if you can get that breath all the way in down your lungs. See if you can take more than 1/7 of your lung capacity. Let's come back to warrior two, where our arms are straight and our gaze is over the front fingers. Put your hands at your waist or at the chair. Actually, you might need the stability of the chair, because we're going to face the front of the room and we're going to be in wide angle pose. So our knees are out and our toes are facing out. Take a block or a roll of paper towels or a book, or if you don't have any of that, it's all fine. If you don't have any of that, you're going to come into a forward bend. So we're going to just bend again at the hip flexors here, and you could hold here. If you have a block, place it in the center. Put your right hand on the block as your left hand comes up for a twist. Breathe. Bring your left hand to your knee, right hand to your knee, lean forward. This time, place your left hand on the block, the paper towel, the book, hand to the sky for a twist. If your shoulder gives you can't bring your hand up that high, it is okay to put your hand on your waist and you're still twisting. You could even be right here and you could twist this way if you don't have a block. Come back to center, and this time, take your arms and let's bring them into goddess and do your own twist. You don't need a block to do it. We're just turning towards the right with our arms in goddess. Now, the reason I love putting our arms in goddess, because I'm all about bringing those shoulders back. My mom's on today's class, and I grew up with her telling me, stop being so round shouldered. So when you put your arms in goddess, you could actually feel your shoulders reaching towards each other, and it counteracts that round shoulderness and makes your stand a little bit taller with straighter shoulders. So it really counteracts us sitting around with, like all hunched over our desks. So goddess arms are wonderful. Come back to center. Take a deep breath and turn to the left. Come back to center, and let's do the other side. So hands on your knees, bring your legs together. You can move the block away. We're going to need it on this side. I don't even know what side. I guess we're going to need it here. So we're coming to the other side. So this time turn towards the left. Come to the side of your chair. This time your left foot is the front foot. So it's in a 90-degree angle. Have that foot press into the floor. Take the right hip off the chair, and you could be right here. You could be right here. You could be out straight. And then we're starting with warrior one. So the foot is 45 degrees. If that's not comfortable for your bones, your body, take it to 90 degrees. Bring your leg where it's comfortable. Again, no extra pain. Your left hand's holding the back of the chair. Your spine is long and tall. Your right arm is at a half prayer. Deep breath. Your gaze is over your knee. So your torso is facing that front knee. This time wheelhouse the left arm if your shoulder can deal with it, and your right arm to the back. When I'm twisted up, I never know my right from my left. My left arm's facing the front, so I'm being pushed towards the future, towards the past, and I want my torso to be straight in the present. Gaze is over the front fingers. Warrior two. Let's take a deep breath. And again, energy lines. Think about those energy lines. The back foot, I don't know if I said this, comes now straight out towards the front of the room. Your right hand slides down your leg. As your left arm comes over, keep a wide chest for peaceful warrior. Your gaze is up at your hands. You can say hi to yourself. And then your front forearm comes onto your thigh. Your right arm comes over your ear. So there's a straight line. You can actually see it from the pinky toe side of my foot to the fingers that are up in the sky. And that's the energy line. That's where I'm now feeling the energy line. And my left hand is relaxed. Yoga, we're always talking about relaxing something. So this side of my body, my left side of the body is relaxed as my right leg and my right arm feel the energy. And let's just move with the breath. So peaceful warrior, inhale. Exhale, side angle. Peaceful warrior, inhale. And exhale, side angle. And let's come back to warrior two. Your gaze is over the front fingers. Deep breath. Holding this pose is no small thing. I know that it's hard to keep your arms up like this. And keeping your legs like this, if you have energy in them, is not easy either. We're putting our arms back down to the sides of the chair as we come center into wide angle on this side. I want you to feel that hip flexor as you lean forward and release the back just a little bit with the straight back. Come back up. We're going to do eagle arms this time. So your right hand comes out in front of you in the center of your body. Your left arm, so we're taking the shoulders in a different direction. Your left arm crosses that on top of it, and you twist your arms. Now you might only just be able to come right here, and just like this is fine. You might want to just hold on to your shoulders. If you want to try eagle arms, I'm taking and twisting my arms back around again, and the two palms are touching. And then the key to this pose is not just to be relaxed like this, but to lift the elbows up so they're shoulder height. Now, if you want to take it a little further, heel toe those feet together. It's the right arm that's at the bottom. So the right leg comes over the left and twists around the bottom of the leg so that my foot, can you see my foot, is around the ankle of the left foot. This is eagle. Again, all these poses are named after animals, and you can kind of see that this could be an eagle, right? Deep breath. Raise the elbows. Relax. Uncurl. Uncurl the legs if you did the legs. Let's try the other side. This time the left arm comes out in front of you. The right arm crosses on top of the left arm. The arms twist so that if you can the palms touch. Take the left foot, cross it over the right. First, lift those elbows up, I'm sorry. Shoulder height, you're in eagle arms. We're gonna try eagle legs if you'd like. You cross the left leg on top of the right and see if you can wrap that ankle, that foot around my legs are all twisted, the right ankle for an eagle. So remember to lift those arms and breathe. Okay, uncross the legs, uncross the arms, and just breathe, let the shoulders relax. So we took the shoulders back when we did goddess, and we took them front in eagle. So we really worked out the shoulders today. Sit back in the chair. Let's do a little pigeon for the hips. This is stretching, and we bent a lot at the hip flexor. We're gonna open up the hip now. So take your right leg and take the ankle over the thigh of the left leg. If you're like me, I have very tight hips. My right knee is pretty high right now. My right foot is flexed. I'm taking my forearm and laying it on top of the knee as I lean forward at the hip flexor. And I give my hip a little bit of a stretch by pressing very gently down on the knee to open up the hip. And I keep my foot flexed with my left hand. And this is pigeon in a seated position. So pigeon is done on the mat on the floor. It's also done on your back on the mat. And this is in the chair. Press the left foot into the floor while you're doing this as well. Just take a couple of breaths here. We always breathe into pigeon and you try to relax something. So you might be feeling the tension in that hip. Just as you exhale, see if you can relax it just a little bit, maybe even lean forward just a little bit more, press down a little bit more. Come back with your torso to center. Take the right leg off the left. Breathe for a moment. You can feel the difference in the hips until they integrate. And then take your left foot and cross it over the right so that the ankle is on the thigh. Hold the foot with your right hand so that it's flexed. Take your forearm, place it on the knee, and lean at the hip flexor. Again, we're not bending at the waist. We're leaning always at the hip flexor. We're not rounding the spine. We're keeping a very straight spine as we feel. Now, each side of your body feels different. So it could feel different on either side of the body. It could feel different on a different day. I know there are days when I'm much more limber than I am on another day. And we're pressing and we're breathing and we're relaxing. We're finding something to strengthen and something to relax in as we stay in pigeon. You can almost picture the pigeon, right? Putting its leg up. Okay, come back to center. So we're about to do tree, and balance is so important as we age and in life. We balance all day, without even thinking about it. Every time you take a step, there's a form of balance going on, but we like to work on our balance to prevent falls and it's good for our brain. You're working out your brain when you're balancing because your brain is saying, oh, you're teetering. I have to put more pressure here. So if you want to stay in the chair at this point, you're welcome to, and I'll do tree in the chair. Otherwise, we're going to stand. So just really quickly, for those who want to stay seated in the chair, you're going to take the right leg, come up to the ball of the foot, turn the leg a little bit so that it's facing the other leg. So your heel is pressed against the ankle, and see if you can just lift that foot up against the leg. So it's hitting like the calf, the inside of the calf, excuse me, on that leg, and see if you can take the hands off the chair and maybe hold them in prayer position right here and hold that. If you would like to come up out of the chair, and I'd love you to try because we are going to be stable and hold on to the chair. Come to the right side of the chair, take your left hand, hold the chair and keep your hand there. So we don't want anyone falling in chair yoga. You're going to come up to the ball of the foot on the right foot, Turn the foot so that the heel is placed on the inside of the left leg. Here's the thing about chair when you're standing. Just like I said, the brain is telling your body how to compensate. You're about to throw your left hip out to sort of balance the right leg coming off the floor. The trick here is to challenge yourself and try to keep your body straight and not put that hip, not use the hip to jut out to balance. So you want to, it creates more of a challenge. So you're going to slide that leg up. You can either bring it to the inside of the thigh, the inside of the calf. You just want to stay away from the inside of the knee and turn that leg so that it's out to the side. If you'd like to try, as long as you have the chair there, so I don't want anyone falling in their house, but your chair is there, so reach for it if you need it. You can bring your hands to prayer. We're in a tree, so you can let your branches wave in the air. Remember about integrating the shoulders. You can put your hands in goddess so that the shoulders are coming down your back, which is a great shoulder opener, or you could clasp your hands behind you. We're trying to stay in tree for about at least 20 seconds. So, and if you come out of it because you lose your balance, that's okay. You're supposed to smile. This is not a competition. This is really training and good for your body. So just be happy. It's all good. Okay, I think that's more than 20 seconds. Plant your feet. You might want to just pedal your feet if you're standing so that you can get even on your feet, because I'm sure we'll feel what that feels like afterwards. We'll check in with the body, but come to the other side. If you're sitting in the chair, you're going to do the same thing we did earlier in the chair. I'll just cue you to do that. You're sitting in the chair, plant your feet both into the floor, lift up the left foot off the floor onto the ball of the foot, turn the knee out just a little bit. Don't torque it, just turn it a little bit, and raise that leg up to the inside of the right leg. Your hands could be anywhere. They could be holding the chair. They could be in prayer position. If you're standing, we're on the left side of the chair. You're using your right hand to hold on to the chair. Plant your feet, spread your toes, come up onto the ball of the left foot, turn the foot so that the knee faces its own side, and bring that leg towards the inner side of the leg of the right leg. And remember about jutting out the hip. So we want to try you're fighting. Your brain is telling you, oh, if I jut that hip out, look at the difference. It's so much easier that way, but the whole thing is to try to stay tall in the spine and straight as you balance. Now here you can possibly come to the inside of your thigh or the inside of your calf, just not on the knee. And you can use your hands. See, I'm coming out already. You can use your hands and do anything you'd like with them. Let your branches go in the wind, prayer, clasp, goddess, your choice. I'm going to try to stand here for 20 seconds. And again, if your foot comes out for any reason, it's okay. Just smile and bring it back. Plant your foot down. Let's take a moment, whether you're in the chair or you're standing, to press both feet into the floor and feel the difference. Check in with your body. Come back to the seat. We'll just do a few little things before we go into Shavasana. So raise your right leg just a little bit off the ground and take your left leg out, your left arm straight in front of you. This is balance as well. See if you can straighten the right leg. And bring the right leg down, the left arm down. Let's do the other side. So the left leg comes out this time and it's lifted, and the right arm comes out center, and you can see if you can straighten the left leg and bring the left leg down and the arm. And let's take the right leg and hug the knee to the chest. Give it a good hug. Take it out to its side. Bring it center. A good hug. And bring it down. Let's take the left leg and hug it to the chest. Deeply breathe. Breathe deeply. And release. Now for Shavasana. So you took a throw pillow or you have a pillow from the bed, and you're going to take that pillow and bring it onto your knees. So Shavasana in yoga, I know that a lot of lay people think, oh, it's just that part of yoga where you go to sleep. It's so important. We just worked out almost every part of your body, even though we were sitting in the chair for most of it. And your body needs a few minutes to just integrate all of that information. Your brain and your body are talking to each other. So we always take a few minutes into Shavasana. So putting the pillow on your lap is sort of like a weighted blanket. And you might have read about weighted blankets are like the hottest thing right now for relaxation. But it's putting a little bit of weight. You can lean your stomach on it. You can lean back. It's to make you really comfortable and to lift your arms up a little bit so that they're at a comfortable level. Your hands should be touching each other or palms up. And the reason in yoga we do palms up is to show our openness and our open-heartedness and our gratitude. I tend to like to keep my hands in this mudra, and mudra are hand movements, which is one hand nestled into the other, my thumbs touching. So the energy lines don't leave my body. We're going to lean back. And again, we're not bringing our hips to the back of the chair, but at this point, you're going to lean back so that your back touches the back of the chair. So it's almost just a more comfortable position. Your chin could come a little bit towards the chest. And you can close your eyes if that's comfortable for you. We're going to scan the body. If closing your eyes doesn't work for you, that's okay. Just find a soft spot in front of you to gaze at and do a soft gaze where you're really not looking at anything, but you're going internal. So I want you to take a moment with your eyes closed or with your soft gaze, and let's scan the body. You're going to be looking for something to offer a little bit more, a part of your body to offer a little bit more relaxation to. So let's start with the feet. If your feet are at all tense, see if you can relax something there. And work your way up the leg to your knees, your thighs. Check in with your body, looking for tension. You're going to be a tension hunter right now. And you're going to try to release. Your hips, your gluteus, your butt muscles might be tense sitting in that chair, and see if you can relax them. We worked out the spine a lot, that strong backbone that allows us to move into the future. See if there's some part of your back that you can relax by your rib cage. Check in with your chest, your arms, your jaw. Some people feel it in their forehead or the crown of the head. And for a few moments, we'll sit here in relaxation. If you're very comfortable here and you'd like to stay here, feel free. It's a really nice place to be. Or if you'd like to join me, start by wiggling your fingers, waking them up slowly, wiggling your toes. You can remove the pillow. Bring your torso up so that it's over your hips, aligned with your hips. Bring your hands to heart center in yoga. This is a sign of gratitude. And we say namaste, which means that the light in me sees the light in you. So namaste. Thank you so much for joining me. I'm honored and grateful that